Hi friends, so I thought we would do some wrist warm up and then some upper body opening and strengthening for today's practice. So a lot of us have, you just keep rolling your wrists, a lot of us have some discomfort in our wrists when we start a yoga practice, or we do a lot of push-ups, or we use our cell phone a lot. We type a lot. So just rolling the wrists out for a second. If your wrists already feel good, you can move to the strengthening bit, no biggie deal. And just shaking them out. And as I'm gonna put a little background music on. So as we put our hands on the ground, just rotating the hands a little so that the pointer finger is straight up versus the middle finger, and just see how that feels. So putting the hands down, and we want the knuckles of the hand on the ground and like we're almost grabbing the ground. Just feeling into the sensation of this. We're gonna start making circles. And as we do that, pressing the ground away and pulling the belly button to the spine. So you're still starting to work your core and your upper body, and then switch directions. Yeah. And then from here, we're gonna take our hands and bring them out and just move back and forth and allow yourself to make maybe a little C curve with your spine. And then shaking that out. Got some activity going on there. From here, we're gonna take the hands back down with that position, kind of a little rotated out, and shoulders over wrists, we're gonna start lifting the palm off the ground, still pressing the knuckles down into the ground. So pressing the knuckles into the ground, bringing the palms off the ground. If this is too much for you, you can do one hand at a time until you gain the mobility in there. So building some heat in there, whoo, feeling that. And then shaking that out. And then we're gonna reverse our wrists. If this is very intense, just stay here. Or if you have a little more opening, you can set the palms down, but bend the elbows just a bit and sit back as much as feels comfortable and just kind of swaying so that you can just soften into the opening here. And then we're gonna release that. So we're gonna take our hands out, and our hands are in this fist here, and you're moving the hands back and forth, right? So forearms. I learned this from a cute little friend that taught me how to do handstands. And then we're gonna lift. And then we're gonna let that stuff go. Yeah. So from here, we're gonna come into downward facing dog, pressing the ground away, pressing the floor away, lifting the hips to the sky. And then we're gonna slowly come down and hover the knees. So the knees are not touching the ground. So we're hovering right here, then pressing back, downward facing dog, pressing that ground away. Neck is long. And then hover. So using that core, that belly button's towards the spine. Back, hover. Back, hover. One more time. Hover. So now we're going to do what's called scapular push-ups. So shaking out those wrists, letting them have a break. So as we're here, we're doing these scapular push-ups. All you're doing is bringing the shoulder blades together and then apart. Together and apart. So we're creating some juice in the shoulder, some opening, some strengthening, together, apart. So you're really not moving anything else. You're just shoulder blades together and apart. So we're gonna couple that into our downward facing dog motion. So we're coming into downward facing dog. Come forward to hover, and if you want to, you can add the scapular push-up here. 3 times. Back to downward facing dog. Come to hover. Option to scapular push-up. You can always just come to your knees and press the ground away. Back into down dog. One more time, we're coming to hover. Option for scapular push-up. 3 times. Push the ground away, downward facing dog. Come down to your knees. Setting onto our shins. If this is uncomfortable for us, just setting up block under here, which is awesome. So from here, coming back to our wrists, rolling them out, Back the other way. Yes, so from here we're gonna come into our planks. So we're in this high plank and you are pressing the ground away. The hands are a little rotated, just checking that out. Belly button to spine, push that ground away. Different angle if you want to feel into that. So really lifting that belly up. And from here, scapular push-ups if you'd like. So it's just drawing the shoulder blades together and apart. You can always come to your knees and do this. Listen to your body. And then we're gonna come down to our forearms. Yeah. Press that ground away with those forearms. Really press, just even lift your hands. Press the ground away. And then slowly lower down. We're coming into Sphinx pose. Taking a pause, maybe pulling that chest forward as we grab the ground. Looking to the left, looking to the right, looking to the left, looking to the right. From here, we're gonna push back into child's pose. Just 2 breaths here. Coming forward into tabletop position. We're coming back into our plank, gaining strength in those shoulders and the abdomen. So really pushing the ground away, belly button to spine. And then we're gonna do scapular push-ups again. So shoulder blades together, shoulder blades apart. Shoulder blades together, shoulder blades apart. If you don't know what that sensation should feel like, just explore. And if you have any shoulder injuries, really pay attention. So again, you can be on your knees to start until you build strength. Shoulder blades together and apart, right? Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. So back into plank. Whoo! Pushing the ground away, coming down to forearm plank, staying here for 3 breaths. You've got this. Breath is magic. Lift that belly button to the spine. 1 more breath. Lower down, Sphinx pose. And then let's dip that right shoulder in. And then the left shoulder. Right shoulder. Left shoulder. Yeah. So we're gonna press the ground away, press the knees into the ground. Child's pose for 2 breaths. Coming forward to kneeling. So we're kneeling here. We're gonna get into this side body before we do side plank. Yeah, so just taking a right hand and reach to the sky. Just feel your body activate there. And then switching sides. Right hand to the sky. Left hand to the sky. Not overthinking it. Just listening to our body. And then from here, twisting. So twisting to the left, coming to center, twisting to the right, coming to center. We're going to set up for side plank. So again, thinking about pushing that ground away so we have stability and whatnot in our body. So let's come onto our regular plank, always taking the option for knee if that feels right to us right now. Push the ground away, 3 scapular push-ups. Coming to forearms, we are gonna switch into forearm side plank. So coming onto the right forearm, pressing that ground away, lifting those hips to the sky, even if it's just thinking about it. Coming to center, you can always pause the video if you need to take a breath or a moment. Remembering to breathe the whole time, press that ground away. Shifting this left arm, lift those hips to the sky, press into that forearm. You can reach the right arm up if that feels good to you. Coming to center, we're coming into our forearm plank, pressing the ground away, laying those legs down, taking the right shoulder in, left shoulder in, right shoulder, left shoulder. If it feels good to you, you can press the legs into the ground, push the ground away, chest reaching forward, feeling into that bend, listening to our lower back. Slowly lowering down, press the knees into the ground, and come back into child's pose. We're going to walk our hands over to the left. Walk your hands over to the right. Coming forward and remaining either on our knees or again on a block, whatever feels comfortable to you. Your body is your body. So let's do this. We're gonna take our hands, we're just gonna open up our chest. And then we're gonna shift and close that heart, protect it, hug our heart, and then open up to everybody. Or maybe it's just one person you wanna open up to, and then close those hands in. Then open up, close those hands in. One more time, open up, and this time we're gonna come to center. We're gonna take our right hand over our left, coming into eagle arms. If this is not comfortable for you right now, you can just press these hands or just give yourself a hug. So eagle arms here, if it feels accessible to you right now, we're just gonna lift up and back. Slowly come down. Inhale, we're gonna reach those arms behind us, clasp the hands or opposite elbows, and open up that chest. Shoulder blades coming together. Release that left arm over right. And again, taking whatever option feels good to you in your body. If it's in your practice today, reaching up and back. Releasing that, opening up, grabbing elbows or hands, opening up that chest, opening up to the world, opening up to yourself. It's awesome. Releasing that, shaking it out, touching your heart. How do you feel? A little strengthening practice. You can repeat that as much as feels good. You can hold those as long as feels good, as many reps as feels good. But remembering that to start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. I hope that helped for your wrists and for a little shoulder opening, a little strengthening so that we can feel strong moving forward. That was my little IGTV for today, or YouTube for today. I love you guys. Namaste and cheers.